Hi everyone, welcome to week 7 of the Tourism Management English class. Today's class is just a kind of quick midterm review, but mostly today is going to be about the exam and the types of questions that will be in your exam next week. Before we go on to that, as we all know now, online lectures are now due to continue until week 9. In-class lessons are due to start in week 10, so that's the week beginning Monday, May 25th. So let's hope that we can definitely see everybody in week 10 and we can start back with regular classes. So that means we're doing our online midterm exam in week 8. We will do the exam by video call on Kakao or Skype or Zoom. It's up to you. The questions will be based on topics we have studied so far. I will post each student's exact time on the Kakao group chat, but your exam time will be during your regular class time. So if your regular class time is between 1:35 and 3:25 on Thursday, well, your exam time will be somewhere in that class time. Also, you'll have to complete a short assignment on the e-learning website, and that assignment will be related to the spoken exam questions. The written assignment is very short, nothing major. It's just another part to help you explain the things you talk about in the spoken exam. Alright, so for today's class, you're going to need your textbook. You're going to need to download some documents from the e-learning website, today's PDF file with all our PowerPoints, and you'll be happy to know today's assignment will take you 5 minutes at most. Everybody's been working so hard, so this week I think you have to concentrate more on preparing for the exam. So all I want you to do for your homework this week is fill in the contact information with your name, student number, your major in class, phone number, email address, and your preferred method of contact for the exam. I've even given you an example. So here's Hongil Dong, and here's his student number. He's in Tourism Management 2C. This is his phone number. This is his email address. And he wants to do the exam by Kakao video chat. So that's all you need to do this week. Fill in the contact information and upload it to the e-learning website. I think it's also a good idea to have some of your handouts from earlier classes, because some of the things we've already studied are going to be very useful to help you prepare for your exam next week. So, before we go on to talk about the exam, I'm going to explain the answers from last week's class. So we started last week with some listening questions. So the first one, they were talking about bus and metro tickets. We had to find the price, where to buy them. So the price of the bus or metro tickets, well, there was two possible answers. You could pay 3 marks for a single trip, or 10 marks for a 24-hour multiple journey ticket. So two different prices for two different types of tickets. If you're only going to make one journey, then the single trip for 3 marks would be good. But if you're going to travel around the city probably buying a 24-hour multiple journey ticket for 10 marks would have been better. And also they said that we can buy these at a ticket machine in any railway station. So that was the first conversation. The second conversation, they were talking about bank opening hours, and we should have had the banks open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday they are closed. And other places to change money, well, there was two kind of suggestions. One was the main railway station, or the other was a bureau de change. And a bureau de change is simply a place to change money. So you usually see these in airports. Lots of big cities there, on every street corner you can see a place to change money. And the third one, they were asking about department store opening hours. So again here, Monday to Friday, it was 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if we remember in the conversation, the time was 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. So the department stores were closed at that time. And then Sunday, they are closed. Now, as I mentioned last week, every country, every city has different opening times. So Korea, very, very different from the UK. In Korea, shops don't usually open till maybe 10 or 11 a.m., but they can stay open to 10 p.m. sometimes. In the UK, it's usually maybe 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, something like that. So it's a good way to practice talking about opening and closing times. That's a very important thing that visitors to a country will ask. They want to know when they can go to different places. The next part was to describe your hometown. Now, this part is going to be very, very useful for next week's exam. I will be explaining that a little bit later. But here I've given a description of my hometown. So my hometown's name is Paisley in the UK. I'm describing the bus and metro tickets. Well, we don't have a metro in my hometown, but there are lots of buses, and we can pay £4.50 for an all-day bus pass, and you can buy them on any bus. So it's much better to get an all-day pass. I think for one trip costs around £1.60. So yeah, that's a good thing to do. Opening hours, well, the shops and stores are open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday, closed on Sunday. You can't buy anything. So if you want to go clothes shopping, you'll have to go to a shopping mall or something, because you can't do it in the town. Supermarkets usually are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Some supermarkets open earlier at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. and actually there's one or two supermarkets that are 24 hours, but the normal time's 10 to 10. Banks 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, closed on Saturday and Sunday. So you cannot visit the bank on the weekend, you have to go Monday to Friday. Now, I went on to talk about 3 tourist attractions in my hometown. The first is Paisley Abbey. The Abbey is a huge church building that is around 700 years old. It is well known for its Gothic architecture and superb acoustics. It sounds amazing to hear a church choir or any sort of singing in this church. Sounds really amazing. The second place is Glenifer Country Park. The park offers great views of the town and is a popular area to go hiking and mountain biking. The third place is Paisley Museum. The Paisley Museum offers a good insight to the history of the town and has many exhibitions related to the textile industry and creation of the Paisley pattern. So this is what my hometown is famous for, this clothing pattern here. I'm sure everybody's seen this at some point. This is called Paisley pattern. So I think this part especially is going to be very useful for you in the exam next week, and I'll explain that in more detail later today. Now, the final part, we had to make some requests for the 6 situations. So we had somebody walking a dog, but there was a no dog sign, no smoking sign, you can't park here, don't dive, only one bag, and no credit cards. So we had to find ways of asking very politely the guests maybe not to do this. So I gave some examples for number 1. Excuse me, would you mind not walking your dog here, please? So would you mind not? Very polite way. Number 2, I'm sorry, but could I ask you not to smoke, please? Again, instead of just saying stop smoking, it's like an order. This is much nicer. Number 3, excuse me, would you mind not parking your car there, please? Yeah. So again, don't park there. It's too direct. Nice way to ask someone. Number 4, I'm sorry, but could I ask you not to dive in the pool, please? Number 5, excuse me, would you mind checking in 2 of your bags? We can only accept 1 bag here. So 1 bag only. I want you to check the other ones in somewhere else. Number 6, I'm very sorry, madam, but we don't accept credit cards. Would you mind paying in cash? So here I've explained our situation and then the polite request. So this kind of language is really important when we're talking to visitors, talking to guests. Especially when you're asking them to stop doing something or to do something they don't really want to do, we can be more polite when we're asking for these things. So those were the answers last week. I hope those have helped you. Now, we're going to go on with today's lesson, which is mostly about exam explanation. We'll do a little bit of review on the parts that we need for the exam. So I'll be giving exam details, explain the exam question, give tips on how to prepare answers, and then explain this week's very, very short assignment. So, exam details, it will be a speaking exam. I will video call each student for a 3 to 4 minute exam. We can use Kakao video chat, Zoom or Skype. You can decide. Personally, I think Kakao video chat's fine, but it's up to you, whatever you want to use. We'll be talking about 3 different things during the exam. They are all things that we have studied in the class so far. So we have studied a lot of topics this semester, but I have chosen just 3 of them for the exam. Now, I tried to choose things that had different topics and covered some different skills. So the things that I have chosen are talking about products and prices, hotels, and your hometown. So these are going to be the 3 topics. Now each topic will have a little bit of difference on how we're going to do the exam. So the first part is going to be products and prices, and I will ask you some questions about one of the following items. So in your exam, although I've got 4 items here, when I speak to you next week, I will only be choosing one of these items. So maybe we'll talk about ice cream, or we'll talk about coffee, or alcohol or a meal in a restaurant. So these are the four possible things we'll talk about. And when we do talk about them, we I will try to make this like a natural conversation, but the types of things that I will be asking are maybe where is a good place to buy it? So let's say our topic is coffee, and I say, well, where's a good place to buy some coffee? You might answer, oh, well, my favorite place is Angel Inna's coffee shop. Oh, good. Then I might ask, how much does it cost? Or do you think it's expensive or is it cheap? Do you like this product? Maybe how often do you buy it? What kinds can you get? So again, if it's like alcohol, well, what kind of alcohol do you like? Or if it's a meal in a restaurant, what kind of restaurants are there? Can you go to a Japanese restaurant or can we eat in an Italian? So these are just some possible questions that I can ask. But the thing that will be important, I will be asking everybody the cost of something. So I will be wanting to know how much does a meal in a restaurant cost? How much does alcohol cost? And so on. So these ones I will definitely ask. Maybe, do you think it's expensive? How much does it cost? And it's up to you. You can give your prices using dollars if you want, or you can use Korean won. It's up to you, I suppose. I think maybe using Korean won could be good practice because it's not so easy to do that. But that would be up to you. If you're using dollars, you should state, oh, it costs around $5 that way. So that's going to be the first part. I will choose one of these four products and we will talk about it. Talk about how much it costs and so on. Part two is going to be about hotels. Now, this part you are going to have to research before the exam. So you will choose a hotel. Now, it has to be a real hotel and tell me the following things about it. So, I want you to tell me the name, location. So, where is the hotel? The room costs. So maybe you could choose one or two different types of rooms and tell me how much they cost. Room facilities. So what do you get in the room? Does it have cable TV? Is there a bath? Tell me about some of the facilities. And the hotel facilities. Again, is there a swimming pool? Is there restaurants there? Give me some details. So you can use any good hotel website to get your information. Go to travagohotels.com, any of these. I'll give you an example here. So I just went in. This is Travago. I chose the City of London here. Let's go for this. So what's the name? This is the Park Plaza Westminster Bridge hotel. Let's see. It's the location. It is near Big Ben in London. Room prices. Well, room prices start from £168 per night and go up to 513. Now, amenities and facilities. Well, we've got some free Wi-Fi, air conditioning. Let's see. We can go to all amenities. Room facilities. So there's the hotel facilities. There's the room. Now, I don't want you to tell me everything. Maybe choose 3 or 4 facilities that you think are good. Facilities that make the hotel sound nice, or the facilities that you like. So maybe in the rooms, they all have air conditioning, flat screen TV, internet, and a room safe. The hotel has a 24-hour reception, express check-in, a gym, and a hotel bar. So Again, if hotels.com, oh, here's some hotels in Seoul. So here's the Grand Mercure Ambassador Hotel, and it is located in Yongsan in Seoul. And again, you can go through the amenities and find them here. So I think these websites are a great place for you to find information about your hotel. Now, if I think your description is too short, I will ask you some questions. If I think your answer gives enough detail, I won't ask any questions. So maybe you should be thinking about trying to speak for about 45 seconds to 1 minute about your hotel. So that is part 2 of the exam. Part 3. Well, I told you at the beginning the hometown thing would be useful. Well, that is going to be the third part of your exam. You are going to give me some basic information about your hometown. Your name. So my hometown is called Jeonju. Location. It is located in the southwest of South Korea. Sights to see. Jeonju. Oh, there are lots of things to see in Jeonju. For example, there is the traditional folk village. There is also Jeonju World Cup Stadium, and there are many mountains nearby that you can go hiking. So that would be your basic information about your hometown. Then I'm going to ask you maybe 2 or 3 questions based on this information that you give me. So maybe things like where is the best place? Where do you think is the best place in your hometown? Or maybe something like, do you like living there? Does your hometown have some beaches? The questions will be quite basic, but based on the information you have given me in your information about the hometown. So that's going to be part 3 of the exam. So, hopefully that's quite clear that there's kind of 3 different parts. We're going to start talking about the products and prices, then we'll do the hotels part, then you'll talk about your hometown. All right. So, let's see. Let's go back to this. So, each week, online classes need an assignment. Guys, you've been working really hard, and you're going to be busy preparing for the exam. So this week's assignment, as I showed you earlier, just fill in this information and upload it to the website. Make sure you complete your preferred method of contact for the exam. That's really important. So is it Kakao video call, Skype, or Zoom? What's the best way for you? So just a reminder about the exam. We're going to be online. We can use Kakao, Skype, or Zoom. The questions, well, you know what the topics are now. Everything we've studied already. Hotels, products, and your hometown. I will post each student's exact time on the Kakao group chat. You should be ready at that time for my phone call or my video call. Remember as well, next week you will also have to complete a short assignment on the e-learning website. It will be related to the spoken exam questions. It's going to be really short, maybe a 5 or 10 minute assignment just to write something, but it won't be a major thing, and the assignment will be the things that you need to study to do your exam anyway. So that will be a short assignment. As usual, if you have any questions about the exam, please send a message to the group chat or send me a direct message and I'll answer any questions you have. So that is everything this week. Thank you, everybody, and good luck with your exam next week. Bye bye.